Hi, I'm Becky. Welcome to Stitch by Stitch, Piece by Piece. This is the first video in my AccuQuilt Sew-Along series. Today we're going to be making a reversible tote bag. These bags make great gifts, grocery totes, beach bags, gym bags. This particular bag I'm making as a gift for my groomer. They are completely reversible. As you see, we have the little doggy prints, the little doggy paws on the outside, and then I have the really cute stripes on the inside, the red and white stripes. I have used webbing as my straps. It makes a great strong strap. So if you're using it as a grocery tote, you can just pack all sorts of things in here. You can even make a baby themed bag and stuff it with all sorts of baby items, or a baby quilt that you've just made. Makes a great little baby shower gift. So with this bag, I did a 20 by 20 cut. So, and it's one of my favorite sizes. So this is a great sized bag for whatever you choose. And to make my cuts for the outside of my bag, I use a 20 by 20 square. It's just easy. This is a great ruler. If you really want to keep it simple, the easiest thing to do is just use a fat quarter. You can use the leftover fat quarters from the last quilt that you just made, or you can even use your pieces from your crumb quilts. I always like to have little pieces that I'm sewing together, my leftovers, and make a nice piece of crumb. Let me see if I have one in here. So this would be an example. This is one I have started. These are just little leftover pieces that I've sewn together. This makes the cutest little tote bag. So to move on, I'm going to be using AccuQuilt's 2-dye bags. One of AccuQuilt's dyes. This is a two-dye set. It's the box bag. I'm going to be using the box bag. With this guy, this particular set, you can do a box bag corner, you can do a curved corner, or you can do the dark corner. I chose the boxed corner just simply because it gives depth to my tote bag, and it's super easy. This is the easiest bag you will ever make. So to start with, I'm going to grab 2 pieces of fabric. Now if you're using directional fabric, make sure that you have the bottom of your bag that you're going to cut. Make sure that so for example, this is one that I'm going to make, and it has animals on it. So you want all your little animals to be facing the correct direction. So cut at their feet. So you want their feet to be at the bottom. So this is going to be the bottom of your bag. Now to do this, again, easy peasy. This is a Tula Pink fabric. This would be more of a special occasion bag. Tula Pink is definitely one of my very favorite designers. So you take your fabric, and if it's directional, make sure that, again, that your fabric is facing in the correct direction. So with AccuQuilt, you can cut 6 layers of fabric at a time. We're just going to be doing 2 at a time. So we'll have the inside of the bag and the outside of the bag. And we're going to do 2 at a time because we're going to take this fabric, line up the bottom. Doesn't matter, inside, outside, doesn't matter, because you're just going to cut the corner of this. Now you're going to take this, we have 4 layers here, and you're going to line up your fabric. And we're going to do a 3-inch cut. So you make sure everything's lined up perfectly. Do the top at the first 3. So as you can see, I have my number 3 lined up here, and then my number 3 lined up here. So it's a perfect measurement for you. And I'm going to use a smaller mat. I don't need to use a larger mat because I'm not cutting anything over here. So with AccuQuilt, you can't cut anything unless you have a mat. So this is going to go through the cutter, but it's not cutting anything because we don't have a mat over here. So, and I use the Go Big. With the Go Big, there's no cranking. All you do is just send your dye and your fabric through the cutter, and voila, everything's cut for you. So again, I'm just going to make sure everything's lined up perfectly. And when you're walking to your cutter, you just want to make sure that once you place your mat, that you're holding it tight. You don't want your fabric to shift. So you send it through your cutter just like this, and there we go. And there's no cutters on the inside of this machine, so it's perfectly safe. So now we have the bottoms of our bags cut, and both of them are perfect. With AccuQuilt, your cuts are the perfect every single time. So that's the bottom of our bags. And then my leftover will have 2 little squares left over, 4 little squares, I'm sorry. Here we go. And those are in with my crumb piecing now. So we do all 4 pieces that way. So now we have our inside cut and our outside cut. So I chose to do the birds today. I just think these are adorable. And so for the outside, I'm going to have the birds. For the inside, I chose a nice yellow pattern for the inside of my birds. So what you do, right sides together, and then you just fold that little square that we just cut at the fold to the corner, just like that. Now you're going to want to anchor this stitch, so you start at the fold, go down, and make sure you anchor. And that'll make a nice strong bag. And I'm just doing 1/4 inch cut, 1/4 inch seams on everything today. So there's one corner done. So that is and you want to do all 4 pieces that way. So again, right sides together, start at your fold right here, anchor, we'll stitch backwards all the way down to this corner. And then what you'll have when you finish is a piece that looks just like this. So you'll do all 4 pieces that way. Then, once you finish that, you want to nest your seams together. So right sides together, nest your seams, and you can either just put a pin in here, or you can use your sewing machine and just kind of sew it in place. So a little pin, same with the other side, right sides together, nest your seams, put a little pin in there, and now what we're going to do is we're going to sew down one side, across the bottom, and then up the other side. And you just want to this is going to be your top, so you want that left open. So we're going to do that now. Just going to make sure my seams are still lined up. And what I mean to use your sewing machine, I don't always love to use pins, so I'll just take my sewing machine and anchor that little corner just like that. And then I can check it and make sure that my seams are lined up. And voila, they're perfect. So we're going to start at this side, and you don't have to pin all this together. It's going to be just fine. And again, I'm going to anchor. A little forward, backward. We're going to sew down this side. Make sure everything's lined up. one thing about buying your fabric, you know, if you go thrift shopping, buying your fabric, you can find all kinds of scraps and fabric that you've never seen before. So those make such great, makes great little gifts, and you just find all kinds of stuff that you never knew you needed. Oops, I got my... So this is what you wind up with. And you want to do all 4 pieces of all 4 squares this way. So as you can see, this is going to be the outside of my bag. So you want to do your lining the same exact way. Once you've done that, you take the lining and you want right sides together. And I've already got my liner, the magic of camera. I've already got my liner inside. So you want your right sides together. This one I have a boutique, a batik, so each side is kind of the same. So that one's that's another trick. Use batiks and you don't have to worry about right sides and wrong sides. So these guys, kind of put them together like a little pillowcase. The outside of your fabric is inside outwards. Make sure that the inside, your lining fabric, that your right sides are together. So the liner is going to be right side out. Then the only thing left that we have to do is to mark the outside of our bag. And we're going to do 6-inch marks. And this is going to be where we place our straps. So we're going to take our ruler and we're going to mark 6 inches here. And then we're going to come over here and do 6 inches on this side as well. So 6 inches, 6 inches. We're going to flip it over and we're going to do 6 inches from the side and then 6 inches from this side and make a mark. And I'm using water soluble. So easy, guys, so easy. And then our straps. And then, so all we need is 1 yard of webbing. I buy webbing by the roll. I like either 18 or 19 inches. But 1 yard, you know, if you get a 1 yard cut, just cut it in half. You should be good. So to do our straps, it's as easy as this. And you want your little ends to stick out of yours. You're going to put them in between the layers of your fabric. So you have all 4 pieces together, and then it's just going to go in. Just like, make sure you do not twist this strap, otherwise you're going to have a twisted strap. So it's going to go in just like this, and you're going to take 2 pins. 1 pin, and I leave about 1/4 of an inch of this strap sticking out. Pin it just like that, right in the middle of that mark that we just made. And then over here, 1/4 of an inch, pin there, and then you're going to flip it. And then same way. So your strap, just like this, and it's going to go and just kind of just like that, and just make sure you don't twist it. And then I take my pen, 1/4 of an inch sticking out, pin right down the middle, same over here, 1/4 of an inch out, pin down the middle. The only thing left to do is to sew around this top edge. Now when you get to these little straps, make sure that you do a little zigzag over the strap so it secures those straps. That's the strongest little point that you want in this bag. That way if you're carrying canned goods, whatnot, You won't have any problems at all. And same thing, 1/4 of an inch. So now, this is going to be the liner, or should you choose the outside, and this is going to be, the birds are going to be either the inside or the outside. So the one thing I didn't tell you to do is to leave about a 6-inch unsewn area on one of your pieces. And if you forget, it's no big deal. Just unsew about 6 inches so that you can turn your bag inside out. And that's when the magic happens. So I'm just going to take a little, my magical little seam ripper here. Super easy. Just take a couple of those stitches out in either piece. It doesn't matter, either depending on where you want that little area that you're gonna have to go in and either hand sew that. I don't really hand sew anything. It'll be machine sewn for me. So you just take that, and then you have your little hole right there where you can turn your bag inside out. And like I said, this is where the magic happens. Eventually. So here we go. You can even embroider your friend's name, or if it's for a baby shower, maybe you want to embroider the baby's name on one of the, either the liner or the outside of the bag, or make a little fun quote. Totally customize it. Embroidery machines are great. So here we go. this is my hole that I'll have to mend together there. And voila, your bag. Now what I like to do, so that's the outside, those are my birds. And then reversible, if you get tired of the birds, you can have that beautiful batik fabric there. So what I'll do is go around and iron this. So I'll take my little handy dandy iron and iron around the edge, get a nice clean seam around here. You can even let, like if you want, so my birds are going to be on the outside, so I want this, I just want a peek of this fabric, the inside of this beautiful batik. I just want that to peek out. So I will iron an even little edge right around the top there, and then I'm going to go around and top stitch the outside of this bag. And I'll use one of my one of those decorative stitches that you hardly ever use, and make a pretty little finish to this bag. This is the one, if you can see, that I did on this particular bag, and you can coordinate your thread as well. So I like to use embroidery thread for that. It just adds a nice little touch to it. And that is all we have for today. I hope you enjoyed the first video in my AccuQuilt Sew Along. Until next time, thank you so much for joining me at Stitch by Stitch, Piece by Piece. Have a wonderful day. Please click on the link below and it will take you directly to AccuQuilt's site so you can purchase any of their cutters, any dies, or anything that you've seen here. It's my favorite place to shop. Have a wonderful day. Stitch by stitch, piece by piece. Please come see me next time.